BattleBots is a heavyweight robot competition. Some of the robots here at Destructathon weigh in over 300 pounds, and they, every night, just destroy each other night after night. My name is Robert. I am a safety inspector for BattleBots. I'm also the robot operations manager for BattleBots Destructathon here in Las Vegas. It is a head-to-head combat between teams and each other. Here at Destructathon, we try to capture the essence of that robot competition from the TV show, and Proving Grounds is an added bonus for teams who compete or are trying to compete in the TV show to come and prove themselves here at Destructathon. In the TV show, there's over 60 teams that come to try and place in the top 32. So if you notice on the TV show, there's a lot of people who use a particular type of spinner orientation, but to me, a push bot, which is kind of like overkill in the live show, is a very counter robot to that type of, to a vertical spinner. Smashing them into the walls, smashing them into the hammers. So it's kind of underrated at the moment. The nice thing about being on BattleBots as a safety inspector is I get to see and talk to almost all the teams. The ones that bring me the most inspiration are the new teams, young teams. I remember Rusty's first year, and it was just Dave by himself trying to make something work, and I've made a great friend with him since then. I started with BattleBots in season 4 as a safety inspector. Season 4 was shot in Long Beach, which is actually my hometown. I haven't actually built a robot for destruction or a combat robot. Most of the robots I've built in the past have all been useful bomb diffusing robots, some snake robots, and a few other humanoid type robots. Most BattleBots teams use lithium polymers, 4S or 6S batteries. They like them for the amperage output that they put. They're a little bit more robust than lithium ions. And they're able to pack a lot of punch and a lot of voltage in a small package. For BattleBots Destructathon, we use LIFEs, which is LFEs, which is lithium irons. They're a little bit safer. They don't necessarily pack as big of a punch as some of the lithium polymers. And since we're combat robots fighting every night, it's just better overall. There are over 60 teams. Each team has maybe 3 sets of batteries per robot, and that can be up to 20 batteries for each individual team. We have a separate tent area where they store and charge their batteries. There's a lot of safety containers around the outside, so if one of them happens to go, you know, it's not in the environment where the pits are. Battery issues that we've had outside of the ring, Ripperoni, which is a very popular robot this year, Fred had a couple mismanufactured batteries, and as soon as he plugged them into the charger, they actually caught on fire, or they started to smoke and started to puff. So he'd be running out the door and he'd throw them in the CellBlock bins that we have right outside the doors, and we're able to contain those before they got into something more disastrous. Safest place for that to happen is actually probably in the arena in the BattleBox. We have respirators, we have masks, we have gloves, we have fire extinguishers. We have an entire ventilation system that goes out to a 20-foot scrubber container outside. And what we'll do is we'll then contain the battery. We'll either remove the battery if it's not already ejected from the robot itself, contain the battery into a bucket with CellBlock, and then we'll wrap that bucket up and send it outside to a safe zone to be taken care of later. Thermal runaway is when the battery is compromised and it starts to burn from the inside. Some of these teams try to optimize or target this specifically to disable their other opponent by using flames or puncturing type materials to try to go after their batteries. A very popular team Minotaur, what they do is they wrap their batteries in fiberglass bags and then stuff that into the robot to try to eliminate this. So sometimes if you see on the TV show and you see Minotaur just smoking up a storm, it's because their batteries are actually in thermal runaway, but they are still able to compete because of the precautions they've made in order to prevent this thermal runaway from destroying their robots. The wonderful thing about the partnership that we're going to have with CellBlock is they're going to provide us with a lot more tools, a lot newer tools that have updated in technology. Fireproof blankets that we throw over the robots when they're exiting and they're on fire. CellBlock has these EHS kits which provide rapid deployment for these safety tools, and we'll probably put those around the battery tent. Builders will follow other builders for the most part, and what they use and what they do, just as a sense of Hypershock, Witch Doctor. They're both, people look to them for what they have done, what they're doing. A lot of people look up to a lot of the former builders like Trey and Mark and Peter and Luke and all those type of people to see what they've done in the past and just try to make better robots. For BattleBots itself, we actually have a battery specialist. His name's Patrick, and he will inspect and check every single battery that goes through the doors prior to competition. That is his one big job. Batteries can be a scary thing, and one thing that you have to make sure is you're buying from a reputable source. And even sometimes buying from a reputable source doesn't necessarily mean that you're safe. Safety glasses are important. Gloves are important. It's, you don't want to be caught off guard. It only takes one accident to make a life-changing event. Biggest thing I would always push is safety glasses. Safety glasses, safety glasses. If they spark and any of those things, they're dangerous. I've had batteries when I'm replacing connectors and the connectors jump and they spark and they shoot big sparks. When you're not using your batteries, store them in a cool, dark place. Don't leave them in a hot garage. Keep them inside the house, keep them near a door, keep them near a well-ventilated area, because if they do decide to go, you can at least get them out of your house very quickly.